Hey, Team Rhino. So, I want to talk to you a little bit more about struggles and continuing on in this business despite some of the things which seem really big at the time, which, in light of the bigger picture, just aren't that big. I, I got asked this question on a thread in the Fit Club Network page, and I answered it in text in there. And I know some people saw it, but I'm not sure the whole team saw it. So this is another a little bit more in depth and another chance for you to hear some of the struggles that I went through when I first started out as a coach. I think one of the things that happens to people is they look at someone who has become full time, who has started making close to or over a six-figure income in this business, kind of like where I'm at or beyond where I'm at. Dave Ward and Monica, who have been doing this since the beginning of the Coach Network. Other coaches, you could name several of them, probably Scotty Hobbs and Lindsay Matway and Tommy Migrant and Michael Ryan and some of these coaches who have come in and probably making $400,000, $500,000 plus, and thinking, you see they just post on Facebook, right? And there's like 250 likes, and people are like, oh, I want to sign up for that. Oh, let me do that. I want to do this. I want to do that. And things just, it's like, oh, people just come to them, right? And they don't have the struggles that I have with trying to get people to sign up. They don't have the struggles that I have with this or the struggles that I have with that, or I don't see how we can bring people into this business because coach relations is doing this to me, or customer service is doing that to me, or all the struggles that we go through. Let me tell you, I guarantee you that Lindsay Matway and Scotty Hobbs and Dave Ward and Monica Ward and Michael Ryan and Tommy Migrant have all had amazing struggles with customer service, and they've had amazing struggles with coach relations, and they've had coaches quit on them, and they've had customers who told them they were scammers, and they've had all of that stuff happen, and they have looked past it and worked through it and continued to keep their eye on the goal, on the prize, and on the positive things that are happening through the business. And they've pushed through it. And that's where I am today with this business. It's not because I have talent that you don't have. Do I have talent in one particular area that you don't have? Depending on who you are, yeah, probably do. I probably am better at talking to people than you are, if some particular person who's watching this, or maybe I'm better at social, just naturally at posting on Facebook than you are, and it's more attractive. I don't know, but I bet you've got areas that you can use for this business that you're naturally better at than I am. It's not really about so much about the talent as it is about the perseverance, about having your eye on your major goal, about helping people, and about persevering through the things that really don't matter as much as they seem like they do right now. Okay, so let me tell you some of the struggles that I've had so you can kind of relate that to things that you might be going through. When I first signed up as a coach, within, I want to say, within a month, I signed up my first coach under me. So I got one coach. Now, most of you know to get to Emerald Coach, you have to have two coaches underneath you. So when you get your first coach, it's like, oh wow, like, oh, Emerald Coach, I got to get two coaches. But when you get the first one, now it's just one coach away. I mean, it could happen tomorrow, right? Well, before I signed up a second coach to go Emerald, my first coach quit, canceled before I got my second coach. Right? And I was like in the works of possibly getting a second coach at the time, which also didn't work out. So I went from I'm almost there, just need one more coach to do it, to all of a sudden I'm back to square one. I've got nothing, right? Okay, so there was struggle number one. I had that issue. The second or third Shakeology person that ever bought from me sent back their Shakeology and said it was not good. They didn't like it, right? So that was a return. So I was like the second person I sold Shakeology to. I got a little volume. I've got an HD order. Everything's going cool. I wasn't really worried about Success Club points at that point. I'm not even sure if there was Success Club. I think it had just started maybe. But I got my first Shakeology order. It was HD. They sent it back. the 90 PV comes back, the commission comes back. And when you're only making one commission in a week, if one commission gets taken back, it's kind of a big deal, right? Okay, so I had to work through that. Then I started getting some more coaches. I got a few coaches signed up. I actually had a coach who signed up another coach under them, right? Then the first coach, my actual personally sponsored coach, quit. So now this new coach that was under her kind of moves up. So if you have if like for instance, you're one of my personally sponsored coaches and you have say 2 or 3 coaches, you decide to quit. Your personally sponsored coaches become my personally sponsored coaches. If you quit, they move upline. So this coach moves upline from this other coach that quit, and then all of a sudden, I mean, it's been 6 months that this person's been a coach. All of a sudden, I notice that she's talking about more about Beachbody and more about, like on her Facebook page. And so I message her, how's things going? I realize she's not in my downline anymore. Like she's gone. And so I'm like, well, how could she be gone from my downline? You can't switch coaches or get out of, a particular downline after 72 hours. It's been months. What I come to find out is that Coach Relations, she had sent Coach Relations an email and had called them and said that she needed a Spanish-speaking upline because she didn't speak good enough English. And they went ahead and honored her request to change upline coaches to this local coach who she had been going to Fit Club with and basically had talked her into moving coaches. And Coach Relations had honored the request, despite the fact that I had talked to her in plain English many times. So I got very upset with Coach Relations. Um, you know, they ended up moving her back to me. Dave and Monica helped me out. They ended up moving her back to me, even though I really didn't want her moved back because she didn't want to be there. So that wasn't really what was going to work for everyone. So then she ended up signing her husband up under the other coach and canceling her coach account and then signing herself up later. So I had Coach Relations completely go against their normal rules, move someone out of my downline. Um, the whole situation was just a big old mess. Nearly at the same time, like either a couple months before or a couple months after that, I met someone who wanted to come to our fit club locally. We were doing a fit club. This is back in like 2010, 2011. We're doing a fit club locally. Someone finds us, says, "Hey, I'd love to come to your fit club." I start talking to her. She hadn't even come to our fit club once, and yet, and I'm just talking to her online, and she decides she wants to become a coach. So I signed her up as a coach. She already had an upline coach. She had someone who she was kind of working with, but she said, "No, no, no, I'd rather have someone local, so I'll move to you and then I'll sign up as a coach." And it was very clear in all of our conversations that was what was going on. So she signs up as a coach, and literally like 5 days later, no, 6 or 7 days later, we had a getting started right interview, a full hour long phone call where we talked about how to get started in the business. And over 72 hours after she signed up, all of a sudden this coach is gone from my downline. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? She's unfriended me on Facebook. She won't respond to emails. I don't know what's going on. So I contact Coach Relations, and they tell me that she requested to move back to her other downline because she was deceived and was told, didn't realize what she was doing, and that she signed up under the wrong person. So they moved her outside the 72 hours, which is definitely not true because I had conversations with her about moving from her other coach and making sure that that's what she really wanted to do. My guess is what happened is that the old coach found out that she signed up as a coach and basically guilted her into coming back to him. And again, Coach Relations made an exception to the rule and moved her out of my downline. Okay, so these two things happen within a couple months of each other, right? Those are reasons that, like, far lesser reasons, I've seen people say things like, if this is the way Coach Relations is going to act, then I can't do my job properly, and so I'm going to quit. And I totally, if anyone, Dave Ward can attest to this, if anyone can understand that feeling, it's me. But I could already see that this was much bigger than anything that could happen with coach relations. People are going to make mistakes. Coach relations reps are going to make mistakes. You're going to call at some point and ask them to make an exception because you know that what you want done is right. I've called and had them make exceptions to moving people around because of extenuating circumstances, things that we couldn't control, things that got messed up and they were obviously the right thing to do. And they made the exception because the story that we told them made them believe that, yes, this is the right thing to do. And the same thing happened in the cases where it was actually wrong and they shouldn't have moved them out of my downline. But, these people are human, right? And they're going to do things like that. In some cases, they do some pretty stupid things. In some cases, customer relations is going to make you really mad. Some cases, coach relations is going to make you really mad. In some cases, some people are just going to quit. Some cases, some people are going to come into your downline and say, I really want to do this. And I'm going to love this business. And I'm going to make you a whole bunch of money. And I'm going to help a whole bunch of people. And I'm going to start so many challenge groups. And I know so many people who are going to be into this. And then they're just going to do nothing. Or they're going to come into your downline and they're going to say, I'm going to totally do this and this is going to be awesome. And then they're going to tell you that you didn't support them enough and that's why it didn't work out. There's going to be things like that that are going to happen. People are going to make you mad. People are going to frustrate you. People are going to put you down. And that's going to happen during your journey. But the reason that I'm still here and the reason that Dave Ward and Monica Ward are still here and the reason that Lindsay Matway and Scotty Hobbs are still here is not because they didn't have any of those problems. It's not because they didn't have bad things happen to them that would make some people want to quit. It's not that they never wanted to quit or that it would have been easier to quit. It's simply because we didn't. We did not quit and we kept going because now if what you're going to get by not quitting and what you're going to be involved with by not quitting really isn't worth it to you, if like you can say, I don't believe in these products, I don't believe in this company, I don't believe in this mission enough to put up with the customer service or the coach relations which they're trying to make better, or I don't like it enough and I don't believe in it enough to put up with the people who are going to do stupid things, like coaches who come into my downline and do stupid things, like coaches who come in and then decide to also do some other business opportunity and start trying to take your people away from you. You could have a coach sign up who also decides to, hey, maybe Body by Vi is better. Become a Body by Vi rep and go start trying to pull people out of your downline. You could see that happen. What if you have a leader who comes in and decides to try to steal all your people by just one by one going and picking them off and taking them over to Body by Vi because they can make more money or something like that? You're going to have those people. But if you don't believe that what we're going to get from this is worth that, then that might be a reason to quit. But don't quit because you're sitting there one day and customer service pisses you off. Don't quit because of that. Please don't quit because of that. Quit because this company's not worth it. Quit because this company doesn't have a good mission. Quit because you don't want to. Quit because you'd rather do something else. But don't quit because some $10 an hour person at customer relations made the wrong decision. We can go get that fixed. We can go get that fixed. And maybe you'll lose a customer over it. Maybe a customer will get pissed off. But please, please, please don't quit because of the struggles that happen while you're doing this business. And don't stop doing the business. This is another thing I see. People will stop doing the business activity quite as much because they're not getting results from it. You have to keep doing the business activity. Don't stop doing the business activity and don't quit because of the struggles. The struggles are going to be there. No one's going to have it easy getting there. None of us have. No one will tell you that this was easy and that they didn't have any struggles and that they didn't have any problems. Okay, so don't quit because of it. Keep going, and you're still going to get there. Okay, when I look back at those things that happened, I remember them being big, big deals at the time, and now they're not that big of a deal. All right, I've talked long enough, so that's my little spiel for today.